3, 2, 1, děj se vůlet do domova. Poprosím zhasnout.
Už čas na mádnej síť prdel svou posadit. A tady nepodkopodár, to bude zastará. Sál je prázdný, Wotnau čeká, plujme k moři, osmi dá. A tady nepodkopodár, to bude zase dál. Spektrum je nejlepší. Za nebe a zpátky má, zále se začíná. Chyba je chudem, chopata. Už čas na mádnej síť prdel svou posadit.
Pinocchio.
Have you ever heard of 8-bit computers?
What are you talking about?
Oh, shit. He's getting heavier by the minute. Have you ever heard of 8-bit computers?
I know these 3-bit chocolate bars.
Oh, shit. Say, have you, please, ever heard of 8-bit computers?
That's these machines that they have used a long time ago.
Not quite there yet. Have you ever heard of 8-bit computers?
Of course, everybody used them.
Now we are talking business.
Where am I?
You're aboard my electric submarine Nautilus.
And who are you?
I am Captain Nemo.
They named you after a fish?
So that's why you are called Ironics, Professor, right?
Why do you know my name?
Well, you have to know these things when you're the master of the high seas. By the way, here's your passport back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saving me. Oh, I have been on a quest to find the greatest monument of human intelligence, the underworld city of Atlantis.
Really?
And I was so close. I was so close to finding it, and then I end up in that shipwreck.
Well, I've got some news for you, Professor. You picked the wrong ocean to look for Atlantis.
What? What do
The
you,
wrong ocean.
oh, what do you know about Atlantis?
Well, the story has it that I found Atlantis myself about a zillion lines ago.
What? You found Atlantis? What do you mean by lines?
Timelines.
What do you mean by timeline?
Well, have you ever thought of what could happen if you went back in time and killed your own grandfather?
Funny you would ask. I have written a thesis on exactly this topic.
And what
Yeah.
did it conclude?
It is not a good idea.
Oops. All right, I'll try to keep that in mind.
But wait a minute. Did you just say you found Atlantis?
It is not about that I found it, but about what I found there.
Okay, I am curious. What did you find there?
A machine more powerful than the fate itself. We are talking weaving the threads of reality. And judging by what you've just said, it could be of interest to you as well.
Okay, I am interested. What did you find?
A time machine.
A time machine?
Yes.
A time machine? Did you try it out?
Yes, I did.
Did you try to kill your grandfather?
Not yet, but if you don't stop asking me stupid questions,
No,
I will try to kill yours.
He's dead already. But you know, are you even aware of what we could do with
Oh,
it?
yes.
We could cure diseases. We could establish world
Would
peace.
you please stop?
We could overcome all the world's problems.
Shut
No
up.
hatred, no suffering.
I tell you, I tried that. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, mankind will always find a way to screw up. Always. Every single time.
Why? There must be a way.
You think so? Okay, I will tell you. First, there was this steam-powered rambuck. Used to tear down walls of fortresses
Rambuck, never heard of that.
and conquering whole cities.
Steam-powered Rambuck.
I went back in time. I prevented its invention. And guess what? Bang! Here comes this stupid Alfred Nobel guy with a thing called dynamite.
Okay.
When stopping...
Tough luck.
Yeah, tough luck. So, stopping mass destruction didn't work. I went further back in time. And I found myself a young, prospective little guy with advanced moral standards. I coached him a little bit so that he could pass on the knowledge. And guess what? They crucified the guy. The only thing I would call a moderate success was that I managed to prevent the Cold War. But then mankind wouldn't reach the moon. So I had to let it happen again.
I can see what you're pointing at. So it was of no use after all?
Luckily, not quite.
Not quite.
I found out after all that odyssey, I found out that there are things which matter so much to a human individual, and the fate doesn't really care about them. Like the 8-bit computers. I grew up in a world where by 1995, all the 8-bitters were dead.
That's nonsense. Everybody is using them.
In my timeline, in my original timeline, by 1998, no one even remembered 8-bitters anymore. I missed them so much. So I used the time machine and I looked into the games of my childhood. And there it was.
What was there?
You wanna know? I tell you.
Yeah.
Let's start with Tetris. Tetris was originally called Octris. Yes, 8 squares. And it didn't get any better until I went back in time and managed to convince the Russian guy to sober up and stop seeing things twice. That wasn't all. FOReVER. FOReVER was a very realistic simulator. It kept the proportions of the frog and the car, and the cars were swinging by at a realistic speed, so you could never really cross the road, let alone the river. That still was not all, because then there were the last 11 musketeers. Yes, the last 11 musketeers. Well, you know, in the original game, you had to save all the last 11 musketeers. You couldn't lose even one. And in the final level, you had to manage them quarreling for the hand of Princess Snow White. It took a little bit of nudging to convince the developer to cut it down to just one last musketeer. But with the emancipation and all, they decided to call her Nina. Luckily, I managed to insert a J. And then there was Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Pac-Man was used for education. The guy wouldn't be eating the little dots, the pills. He would be eating pieces of a cake. So he would grow fatter and fatter and fatter until he wouldn't fit the damned maze. So I inserted the fruits so that Pac-Man would become more sportive and get back into shape. Am I boring you?
It's okay. It's okay.
What's the last time you had a woman, Professor?
A what?
A woman! A girl, a chick, boobies and everything.
I've been hunting down Atlantis for the last couple of decades.
So this will get a little steamy. The great Gianna and Maria were originally lovers. The public wouldn't really like that. You know, consent mothers, demonstrations, Me Too and stuff. They would all prevent the kids from playing the games. So I made sure that they would go into history as sisters. And finally, you won't believe that.
Yes?
Strip poker. You know, originally strip poker was... And so finally the game would become playable. Yes.
Yeah.
But the real cracker, that's Commando. You know, Commando was originally a text adventure. So all you could do would be typing down, go north, shoot, shoot again, rob the corpse, run away,
Okay.
shoot again.
Yeah.
The only funny thing
Yeah.
would be the descriptions of your victims.
That's all very interesting. It's fine and good, but you still didn't tell me anything about Atlantis.
Yes?
Have you seen? I mean, what else did you find in the ruins of Atlantis? It must have been huge.
Ruins?
Yes,
Ruins?
of course.
I've got a little surprise for you, Professor.
A surprise.
Yes. Atlantis
Huh?
is alive and coding.
Atlantis is alive and coding.
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Okay. I have. Can you bring me there? It was my dream all my life to come to Atlantis.
and where do you think we have been going the last 3 weeks?
Different directions.
Well, Atlantis, you stupid.
Huh?
So, Atlantis, that's a place full of creative people.
Yes.
People who use different technologies, but are open, tolerant,
Yes.
friendly. They share their knowledge.
I knew it.
Yes, actually, why don't you check it out for yourself?
Bring me there. Atlantis! Finally! I'm so happy to finally meet you all. Thank you for being here. Captain Nemo named after a fish.
Enchanté! So, we would like to welcome you to FOReVER 2018. The important stuff. There is a party schedule, which will go on with a little demo show. Then there will be a little quiz, and then there will be a little show it. The important stuff. As you are these creative, open and tolerant people, you sure want to know the theme for the Wild Compo.
Yes.
Well, the Wild Compo is just wild, but the real-time compo has a theme. And the theme for the real-time competition is Nemo finds Atlantis. Be as creative as you like about it. The deadline for the real-time compo is tomorrow at exactly...
What time?
At exactly 12 o'clock, that's high noon. After that, Akio Tenshi will start shooting you.
Most probably.
Most probably, not quite surely. The next thing to remind you of, we have very friendly people in the catering, offering schnitzels, sausages, beer, non-alcoholic beverage, and so on. Another thing, the deadline for all the competitions, except for real-time compo, is almost quite exactly Atlantis time.
No.
Half past 1.
Tomorrow, 1:30. Just like the real-time compo. The rest of the rules stays the same like every year. You are allowed to be happy, you are allowed to have fun. You shouldn't overdo it based on whatever substances. Please don't smoke inside the party building. And first and foremost, enjoy the party. Thank you. Leave him alone.